Hello everyone, and welcome back to another No Man's Sky Corvette ship showcase. Today I have built a mini freighter for you. And in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to build this and some of the techniques I used. This ship has got a ton of cargo pods for storage, a bunch of engines on the back, the command center on the top, and on the front we've got this large radar dish that adds some nice decoration that goes along with some of the freighters you'll naturally find in your systems. Connected to the engines, we've got 2 Medusa class reactors and 2 Zenith class reactors. For this build, I wanted to try and mimic some of the freighters that spawn in when you go to different systems. I wanted to have a bunch of the cargo pods on the side, but I also wanted to keep the build kind of small, which is why it's only a few hab sections long. Then it's got all these engines on the back because just like the freighters you'll see in No Man's Sky, it's got all the engines on the back so that it can travel vast distances to different systems. And then back there as well, I figured if you got a freighter that can land on planets, it might be helpful to have some engines that are actually landing gear. So I've got the Thunderbird class thrusters back there too. And then there's actually 2 different ways that you can enter this. I've got 2 of the entryway doors. So right here underneath the cockpit, we've got what would typically be the hangar on a freighter where you can dock your starships, but here you can just walk right out on top of your freighter, which is pretty cool. You can see all the decorations and walk along here, and then if you feel like it, you can just jump off into space like this. Pretty neat. Now I'm going to show you guys quickly the interior, and then I'm going to get on to the build tutorial. This is the second way to enter, through the front. Then we've got this long hallway, a stairway up to the second section. I decided not to decorate this one because I didn't really know what to put. Then we've got this stairway up to the cockpit area, which you see in the previous clip. And I just want to say quickly before we get to the build tutorial, thank you guys for clicking on this video, and I hope you guys are enjoying my Corvette builds. And then here's a nice panoramic shot so you can get a good look at the whole thing before we start the build tutorial. And here we are with the build tutorial. So as you can see, we've got 3 hab modules long, and then we've got these triangular angled pieces so that you're able to open the landing bay on the top right under the cockpit, and then you're actually able to do the spacewalk. And now I'm going to show you guys, I used the Thunderbird habs, and then here's a good look at how far apart the landing gear is spaced. Just 1 click forwards or backwards from this central circle. And then here's the other landing bay in the front of the ship. This is just the typical Titan class one. And now moving on to the back section, here are the reactors I used, as well as we're adding this heavy scaffolding to hold the thrusters later on. Place the Medusa class reactor above this Zenith class. Then we have this Titan class walkway at the top, which is going to be connected to the cockpit. And then we've also got the Ambassador class landing pad, or landing bay, that you're actually able to walk out onto the deck with. Now moving on to the next section, we've got these windows, we've got the Titan class cockpit, and then we've got the photon cannon on the top. Next up, here's the engines. All these ones on the back are the Pyrodrive booster, 4 just like this, and then the KinoStream thruster on the sides, the really big ones. And then over here, these are the landing Thunderbird thrusters. These are going to be placed on the front side of the heavy scaffolding. And then while you're flying, those actually tilt back, which is pretty cool. And now I'm going to show you guys the decorations, which is probably the most important part of this build. So here are the streamline trims on the top center, and then here are the cargo pods. You can kind of choose whichever cargo pods you want. I just thought that having a good mix looked pretty cool. On the front, we have got this thermal grill rotated backwards. And then on the side of it, I placed the small vent. And then these wings here are the Ambassador wing module, as well as the Arcadia S-foil. Then this big thing on the front is the radar dome. And there you go. You have successfully built your very own mini freighter. And now let's get into the paint job. So we used this blue and light gray, and I just used the normal finish of it. And then for these trims, I used the blue and yellow, and I used the weathered trim. Then for the cargo pods, I used the gloss trim, and then I actually did these two different wing modules, different colors. The one on the left is weathered, and the one on the right is not. And that is all that I've got to show you guys for today. If you got this far, if you watched the build tutorial, thank you guys so much for sticking around. I hope you guys liked my build. Hope you feel inspired to go build your own mini freighter or build this one. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave a comment down below. Maybe consider subscribing, and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.